This video will go over how to do college level research using Google and Wikipedia. So first off, you go onto Google and you type in whatever your subject is. Let's say you're doing a research on stem cells. So stem cells, right? And it comes up. So you click on stem cells and a bunch of stuff comes up. And let's click on the first one and it says it's mayoclinic.org. Now you might say, hey, this is a good source because it's mayoclinic.org, right? This is a hospital. But if you take a look at the website, you see that there's a lot of advertisements on their website. Anytime you see advertisements on their website, it's not a good site because they're using your information and they're tracking your information. So it's not a really reliable source. And even this article, it says by Mayo's clinic staff, right? I mean, who are the Mayo Clinic staff? Who could it be? I mean, maybe it's a janitor writing this. So this is not credible. And there's no sources cited, right? Where are they getting this information from? It's not cited, so this is not credible. So many of the sites that you find on Google are just not credible. Okay, you cannot use this for your college level research. Okay, now notice that there's a Wikipedia site, right? And I know a lot of teachers say don't ever go onto Wikipedia site for your college research, but I am the opposite. I tell you that this is the first site that you should go to, not to use it as a source, but to get background information about your topic. Because if you are doing research on stem cells, but you're not very familiar with stem cells, how are you supposed to know what sources to use if you don't even have background information about your own topic? So that's why I suggest all students to go into Wikipedia and read about their topic to gain knowledge about your topic. I'm not saying to use Wikipedia as one of your sources. No, right? That should never occur. But what I want you to do is read through what Wikipedia says about your topic, and maybe it might even help you to narrow your research because stem cell is too big of a topic to write your research paper on. So maybe it might help you to narrow it down. Maybe you want to talk about fetal or adult or lineage or therapies, right? So Wikipedia can help you to narrow down your topic. Now, another thing that Wikipedia can help you is to do the research. Now, when you go down to the very bottom of Wikipedia, it has all these sources, right? So you can use the sources that they used to write Wikipedia as one of your sources. So if you want to and say, hey, you know what, right here, it says Handbook of Stem Cells. Okay, let's take a look at it, what it is, and see, maybe I might be able to use it. And so it looks like it was a chapter from a book. And you might be able to find this in your library database. A lot of the sources that Wikipedia uses, you may not be able to gain access to it directly because they'll say something like rent or buy this article. But what you can do is you have the title, you have the authors, so maybe you can just copy and paste it onto your library database to see if they have this article in our library database. But if you do see where it has this PDF file, this means that they do have this source available online. And so here it is, right? And it has author's name. Okay, and he's a director, right, at this hospital. He has a PhD, so he is credible. And remember, what you need for your MLA research paper is author's last name and page numbers. So if you take a look, there's author's last name. Does it have page numbers? Yes, it does. So this is a good source that you can use for your MLA. Author's last name and page numbers. So again, remember, for MLA research paper, you do need author's last name and page numbers. You can't just use random websites with no author's name and no page numbers. So to write a college level credible research paper, you do want to find sources that has author's last name and page numbers. So Wikipedia is a source that you can use to help you find these sources. Now that you've looked at Wikipedia to gain background knowledge about your topic, let me show you another thing that you can use for Google to help you find articles that you can use for your research paper. Again, remember, you need author's last name and page numbers. So right now what we have on Google is just random websites with no author's name or page numbers. So this is the trick that I would like for you to use. You click here where it says Settings, and you want to click on Advanced Search. Right here, you scroll down for where it says File Type. So right now, it's set on any format. That means you are getting anything on our web, on the World Wide Web, that has the word stem cells in it. And that's not what we want. We only want PDF files. The reason why we want PDF files is that PDF files are usually something that was published and it has author's last name and page numbers. And so that's what we want. So again, you want PDF files and you click on Advanced Search. Now what you have are all PDF files, but you still have to take a look to see, does it have author's last name and page numbers? So if you keep on scrolling down, you can see where this right here says there's an author's last name and a year, and it's cited by 100 other people. That means here's the author. It was published in 2003, and this article was cited by 100 other people. Okay, that means that this is a credible source because other people use this source to write their own research papers. So if you take a look at it, click on it. It's a PDF file, and it looks like it's a pretty big PDF file. Okay, so here are all the authors, right? And it looks like they have doctorates and MDs. Does it have page numbers? Yes, it does. Here's the page numbers on the bottom, and anytime it has a volume number, it was an article that was in a journal. Okay, so this is a credible source that you can use. So again, make sure that you scroll down and take a look to see author's last name, okay, and year, and cited by. Cited by more people means it's better, but you also want to take a look at the year because topics such as stem cells, it changes over time so quickly. So maybe 2003 might be a little bit too old, so you may want to find something that's more recent. Again, scroll down, find the author's last name and the year, and these are the ones that you want to find. So it will help you find sources that's reliable very quickly. This one doesn't have anything about author, so I'm not using that. This one has it. To 2018, I might take a look at this one. This one, nothing. I'm not going to use it, right? So you can quickly look through your sources to find the credible ones. Otherwise, you will be clicking on every single one, right? Trying to figure out which one can I use. So take a look at the topics, the titles. Okay, can I use this? Is this credible? So this is a great way to use Google to your advantage. Again, go to Google, okay, and notice that the setting is not even here. You have to type in your topic first, right? Stem cells. And maybe now that you have your topic narrowed down, you can even narrow down your search, right? You don't want just stem cells, right? You want something that's the lineage that you found doing your Wikipedia search. So now I'm only going to find something that has something with the lineage, right? And click on Settings, Advanced Search, scroll down where it says File Type. I want the PDF, the Adobe Acrobat. Click on Advanced Search, and there we go. These are the ones that we can now use. Here's the author's last name, cited by. Okay, let's take a look at what this one says. Okay, so this is a source that we took a look, clicked on. Here are all these authors right here, right? So it looks pretty credible. Does it have page numbers? Yes, it does. Page 1411. Okay, so this is looks like it is a credible source. Okay, and it looks like it was from a journal, Cell Lineage in Human Tissue. Okay, so this is a credible source that you can use.